Okay, great. All right, here we go. Hey there, it's Sadie from All Natural Me. Welcome to day 60 of the 64 Days of Peace and Nonviolence. This is a program from agnt.org, which I can't believe it. Have I been asleep at the wheel? How did we get to day 60? So the thought for today, I don't know, we're here. The thought for today is witnessing. Good morning, how are you? Witnessing. Not like a really fun topic. I know 4 more days to go, but who's counting? Who's counting, really? So if you go to All Natural Me, you can read along with me. You can see a picture of lavender. That's so nice that I put lavender on today. Maybe I knew I was going to need some lavender. The topic of witnessing is not easy, okay? Because, think about it. You're a witness to injustice, okay? It's not like a fun topic. You're excited that there's 4 more days to go. Me too. I know that I'm going to really just take a moment to act badly. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to act badly, but I might just run around, scream a little bit for a broadcast, just broadcast of screaming, right? Because I've been so well behaved. I've stayed to the program. So let's focus. It is a great program. I've done it for 10 years, still haven't mastered it, but I don't agree with everything about it. But let me tell you what I do. Do. I love it when I say do. Let me tell you what I do, Scott. I have an open mind, and I'm grown up enough to have an open dialogue about topics, even if they're not my cup of tea, perhaps. There are a few days in this program that I wasn't actually comfortable reading, even. I didn't agree with at all. You have to guess which ones those are. But I still read it with an open mind because I don't want to place my judgments. I don't want anyone to pick up my judgments, right? We're trying to release judgment. We're trying to, deconstruct some of our belief systems. So I certainly don't want to just be sharing the judgments, right? Good morning. Home stretch, 4 more days. Cheers to that. So the thought for today, Merle, is witnessing. We witness a lot in the world, right? Injustices, truth. What do? Do we just sit back and let it happen, or do we speak out? Do we kind of put ourselves out on the front line, make ourselves vulnerable when we see injustice? Do we speak out, right? Government lies to us. Do we just sit back and be like, oh, well, or do we step up to the plate, turn on our microphones and share what we know? Okay, so the thought for today is witnessing. So Gwendolyn Brooks, that's a writer. She's a poet. She said, "We are each other's bond." We are each other's bond. So those who practice nonviolence cannot close their eyes to injustice or cruelty. We are here to be a witness for justice and compassion. So, yeah, it's hard. And that's going to be the theme. There's no going back. Once you go down the rabbit hole and you uncover stuff, there's no going back. You cannot unsee what you now know. You cannot just forget about the cruelty that happens in the world, okay? And you know about it for a reason. So those who practice nonviolence look at injustice or cruelty and know that it is possible for the situation to be different. Yes, there is strength in words and silence as well. Absolutely. So you can stand up for truth by your presence. You don't actually have to say anything, I guess, right? You could just have your presence there, but you could also stand up for truth by your words and your actions. And by doing so, make a difference. So today, when I see injustice, I will say or take action about a peaceful change. Okay, and then I will maybe think about writing down my thoughts about the action I took and share this with another person. So, there's all different levels of injustice. Even the other night, I was listening to a podcast and I didn't expect it, right? It was supposed to be raise your vibration type of podcast. But the woman doing it was a survivor of like the Masons, cult, right? So she was a child survivor. So she knew injustice and cruelty on just firsthand. Like, I can't now turn a blind eye to her story, right? Because now I know what she went through. So, now it's up to me to reflect on what action I want to take, right? This stuff happens in the world, right? And what do we do, right? How do we stand up for truth with our presence, our words, and our actions? And human trafficking is definitely one of the triggers for me. That is one of the truths that happens in the world, one of the injustices, one of the cruelties that, I would like to take more of an action. Like, what can I do? I think the first step for me is not turning a blind eye to it and not playing like it doesn't happen. Bless you. So anyways, like Arthur Lee Love album Forever Changes. What's that about? All right, you guys, so I'm going to stay focused here. Angeles Arian said, that which we witness, we are forever changed by, and once witnessed, we can never go back. So I think that's true. Forever changes. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. It's still so early for me. I don't know why. So yeah, like once you know about something, you cannot unknow it. You're always going to like be aware of it. And it's a good thing. So when you see injustice, say or take action to bring about a peaceful change. That's the thought for today, right? And in a good way. Thank you, Merle. People who are walking this path of nonviolence, we can see this cruelty and know that it can be better, right? We know that it can change in a better way. We know that this isn't necessary for human beings to endure this type of abuse, right? So, or whatever injustice you want to talk about, you can put it towards anything. It can be better. So that's why it affects you. That's why it speaks to you. That's why it upsets you, because it can be better. All right, so Gandhi is going to take us into a neutral zone today, I think. Going deeper with Gandhi today on day 60. So glad we're running. How did we get to 60? I feel like I've been asleep at the wheel. Whatever, we're on day 60. MK Gandhi said, and I'll be interested to see what you think on this. You can't comment on Periscope. Sorry, I have everyone's comments blocked over there because I was getting abused on Periscope. But you can comment on YouTube. So in a strictly scientific sense, this is what Gandhi said. God is at the bottom of both good and evil. Good and evil is our own imperfect language. God is both above good and evil. It is we who entertain thoughts, and it is we ourselves who repulse them. We have thus to strive against ourselves. So this is kind of an interesting quote from Gandhi. He's basically saying to me, what I hear is all there is God, right? It's us who have the thoughts. It's us who have the judgments. It's us who labels whether something is good or bad, right? But really, it's all one. It's all the same energy source, right? Now, if we're having evil thoughts, it's us who has to strive against ourselves. And if we're having judgmental thoughts, which judgment is not a good vibration, it's not a good vibration. I have that song in my head now. It's such a good vibration, huh? Right? We have to strive against ourselves to get to the good vibrations if that's what we want. But we have to really understand that good and evil is just something that human beings have created. That's what I hear. I don't know what you hear though. So this is one of the most difficult truths we have to learn on this path. It is in the divine consciousness, which Gandhi refers to as God, there is no such thing as good and evil. This could bring up a debate. In the divine idea, a thing is just what it is. It just is what it is. For example, a knife can be an instrument of life in a surgeon's hand, and it can be an instrument of death in a murderer's hands, right? It is the human consciousness that determines its merit or lack of merit. So a person's behavior may appear to meet our definition of evil, but that is a value of judgment and of opinion, not an absolute truth of the universe. It may be an opinion and judgment shared by the whole rest of the world. The whole planet could agree with you, but it is still human opinion. In the divine mind, it is simply an action subject to the law of cause and effect like any other. So this is what's hard for us because we can't wrap our heads around the idea of non-judgment at this point, even if we try to. Like, it's really hard for us to just even imagine a presence that could look at this world and not judge it, because we're super judgmental, right? The very act of judging another, no matter what their actions may be, is a form of violence, because we can never know the motivations that drive another. So that seems like a harsh statement, but then I think back this past year that a lot of times I think to myself, judging is judging, right? It doesn't matter if you're judging, like the feeling of judging someone, regardless for what, is judging. Even if you think you're a good person and you're judging, you're still judging. Like, I get stuck on this idea sometimes. So that does kind of resonate with me a little bit, because the very act of judgment in my own personal experience is something that I want to release, because it's not enjoyable for me to be judgmental, right? So judging is judging. The very act of judging another is a form of violence. So instead of seeing the actions of others as good or evil, we should rather see them as actions that arise out of their life experience, and which will have cause and effect or karmic consequences in their lives. I mean, can you look at the world and not judge it? This is one of those moments to just have an open just have an open mind for a minute and contemplate for yourself. Is it possible for me to live in this reality and not judge it? When we see them in this way, our non-violent resistance to those actions becomes a gift to them as well as ourselves. So that's it pretty much that they have. But I do like that idea. Not that we want to release those buggers from judgment, but don't you want to release yourself from that feeling of judgment, right? And so it is a gift to ourselves. And it could be a gift to the whole world if people stop judging, right? And stop hating and stop being violent and stop being fearful. When you look at the vibrational landscape of humanity, the more negativity that we remove from our own essence and ours as a collective, it is a gift to humanity and ourselves. So I don't know if that's what they meant, but that's what I hear when I read it. And I do like that idea. So the affirmative practice today, if you want to join me, here it is. I will meditate on the violence of my judgments and my opinions. So today you have an opportunity to be super ruthless and honest with yourself, to meditate and contemplate on your own judgments and your own opinions, and see how they could be seen by the perspective of being violent, right? When you judge somebody, when you have such harsh opinions about something that you wish they would just croak, right? I just wish that guy would die, right? I just wish those people would, be caught on fire, right? You sometimes feel this way about people because they have done wrong. And in your mind, you think, well, they deserve it. But yet you have to just take a minute and see that you yourself are being violent when you wish that upon them. So it's a tricky trickster. I don't know if I like it. It's easy. I'm really good at being judgmental. So today I will offer my passive resistance and non-cooperation as a gift to those I oppose. So I'm just not going to cooperate with your violent game anymore. Just not going to participate. This is the path of nonviolence. So that's day 60, you guys, witnessing. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. But if you do see injustice and you do see cruelty in the world, just know that you can stand up for truth by your presence, your words, and your actions. And by doing so, you can make a difference. And by not participating in violence, you can make a difference. And not cooperating with this expectation from the hive mind that we should be judging everything all the time. Just don't put your negative energy into it anymore. Don't feed the beast. Okay? All right. So anyways, one last affirmation to end the broadcast, and then I guess I'm going to go do the dishes. So much love, you guys. Today, I will be compassionate in my thoughts, words, and actions. So all you can ever do is strive against yourself to be a little bit better, a little bit more open, a little bit more loving, a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more kind. You don't need to quantum leap and jump into the shoes of Jesus or Mother Mary. All you can do is just take little steps. So today, your little step can just be, I will make an attempt. I will try. I will do my best. I will be compassionate in my thoughts, my words, and my actions. All right, that's day 60. Woohoo! I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love to you. Day 60. Thank you so much. Take care.